Hey YouTube, this is Ben Gessel. How's it going? Um, it's gonna be about 88 degrees to 87 degrees in Kenmore, Washington. So I'm not really looking for that too much. I want to try to avoid the heat as much as possible. Um, yeah, just lots and lots of water. Yeah. So I just hope that we don't get over 100. But you know, we're Washington sorry, Washington wimps over here. Washington wimps. So, okay. This video is going to be kind of more oriented around. Well, you'll see. I guess it's just kind of dealing with the fan here. It's helping me stay sane, but it's also blowing my stuff. I don't know. It's blowing. I don't know. Anyway. I'm not really making a lot of sense right now. Okay, so it's just when it gets to a certain temperature, I start feeling really, yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna start out with some questions here. How important do you guys think it is to soak nuts and seeds before eating them, like you would soak beans? So I've heard different things about phytic acid. Doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, but I'm curious what you guys think. So, and maybe upping my intake of non-glutinous grains like rice a little bit more. Pros and cons of that. Maybe more rice would be in order, but rice doesn't really do a whole lot for me. In my experience, it's kind of a grains in general, kind of a foundation food, and gluten isn't good for you anyway, so it's like not as good for you. So, you guys have any thoughts on supplements? What are your favorite supplements and things? I've done a men's multivitamin from PCC Natural Markets, and it's actually pretty good. But I'm curious what you guys use. What any recommendations there? And my brother, who's a doctor, and he knows a fair amount about nutrition. I have a few brothers like that. That's recommended that if you eat a healthy diet, if you have a healthy diet, you don't really need a whole lot of supplements. Basically, just vitamin D, and but I don't know. I mean, like I'm always kind of worried about trace minerals and minerals in general and stuff. Getting at that stuff, iodine and stuff. I don't know. So. Leave me your thoughts about this stuff in the comments below. And also, what do you guys do to make vegetables more appetizing? I think I don't know, fresh herbs. If you include them and a little bit of lime juice, it's hard to beat that. But what do you guys do to make it more appetizing without making it more unhealthy, that sort of thing? But yeah, I guess basically it's just a few questions for you guys. I've also got to the point, I'm kind of figured out a little bit more where I stand with oxalates, and oxalates are in more foods than just the chenopod family, or they're not just in spinach and Swiss chard. It's in a lot of stuff, but it's kind of like there's a lot of there's a lot of yin and yang with fat food and plant foods in general, and particular, I guess you could say. I guess plant foods are cooling, animal foods are yang, or they're hot. Make you more hot. I don't know. So you need a balance of both of them, but there's kind of a yin and yang with regard to oxalates, where there's some foods that dissolve kidney stones, other foods might form them, and you kind of need to have both of them in order to stay, in the you're good to go ballpark. But I think the oxalate issue has been kind of blown out of proportion a bit, somewhat. But if all you eat are very high oxalate foods, it could be an issue, Anyway, yeah, I think it's blown out of proportion. I think phytic acid is something kind of like that as well. A lot of folks are worried about, certain foods, certain things are interfering with their absorption of other things. But it's important that, you have a mineral-rich diet. It's true, but it's kind of another way of looking at it is that the things that kind of regulate levels of nutrients in your body, it's kind of like you don't want really high levels of certain, nutrients in your body past a certain point. It's not good. So it's kind of nature's way, in a way, of regulating all that stuff. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. Again, I blame the heat. It's toasty outside, and we don't have air conditioning in here, so I'm doing what I can do. But leave me your thoughts and comments below about this stuff. If you guys have any thoughts, questions, that sort of thing. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Bye.